Welcome to Battle Streams of Middle-earth, and this is Chapter 1 of the Fantasy Fellowship of the Ring, Farmer Maggot's Crop.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to frighten them, one ring to break them all, and let the darkness bind them.
The year is 2979 of the Third Age. It has been nearly 40 years since Bilbo returned to the Shire with the ring, and, whilst he may have thought that his adventuring days were done, a new shadow has risen in the east, and the fate of the world is once more in the hands of the unlikeliest creature imaginable. Gandalf the Grey has tasked Bilbo, along with his companions Hamfast, Gamgee and Balin the Dwarf, to take the ring to Bree, where they will rendezvous with a mysterious friend of Gandalf's. It is not long since they have set out, and the companions are still in the relative safety of the Shire, when they find that they have wandered into the lands of Farmer Maggot. Farmer Maggot is a well-respected member of the Shire community. A stubborn and practical fellow who devotes his time to the crops that he grows, rather than to the other goings-on in the Shire. It is said that Maggot's crops are the best in all the 4 farthings. His carrots are without peer, his cabbages tastier than any others. But it is his mushrooms that are the pride of Maggot's crop, envied across the Shire, especially as all hobbits are rather fond of mushrooms. As a direct result of having the best crops, Maggot's farm is often subject to raids for his produce, not the violent and aggressive raids that happen in other reaches of Middle-earth, but instead the mischievous antics of youthful hobbits who see pinching the odd batch of mushrooms as a thrilling rite of passage in the Shire. Certainly these raids are not the kind to cause a larger skirmish or fight, but should Farmer Maggot catch these younger hobbits in the act, then he will not hesitate to administer a swift thwack with his hands or set his dogs upon the intruders. Many has been the young hobbit who has returned home empty-handed and sporting the odd bruise and dog bite. As Bilbo, Balin and Hamfast travel to Bree, they find that they now have accidentally wandered into Farmer Maggot's crop.
I know these fields. This is Ban Furlong, old Farmer Maggot's land. That's his farm away there in the trees. He's a terror to trespassers and keeps ferocious dogs. I've avoided this farm for years and years. His father caught me several times trespassing after mushrooms when I was a youngster. On the last occasion he beat me and then showed me to his dogs. See lads, next time this young varmint sets foot on my land you can eat him. Now see him off. I've never got over the fright, though I dare say the beasts knew their business and would not really have touched me.
All the same, let's see if we can sneak a few extra provisions for the journey. There's more enough to go round here, and you've only missed a few cabbages and carrots.
Go into Farmer Maggot's crop? We can't.
I didn't think he'd be that upset. It's only a couple of cabbages.
He'll set his dogs on us.
Well, if he does, he's clearly overreacting.
Mr. Bilbo.
Oh, come on, Hamfast. Like Balin says, it's only a couple of cabbages.
Oi, you! Get away from my cabbages!
So yes, indeed, welcome to Chapter 1 of the Fantasy Fellowship of the Ring. We are finally getting our Fantasy Fellowship campaign underway with the first scenario in this new book, Farmer Maggot's Crop. Tom,
Yes.
how are you feeling?
Very excited. I can't wait to get stuck in
Yeah.
Yes, I've been anticipating this for a while.
Yeah, we've been, as we discussed in our kind of preview video, if you haven't seen that, make sure you go and watch the prologue concerning Fantasy Fellowships. That'll set up exactly what we're doing here. But we've been planning for, I think it's about 4 weeks.
Yes.
Frantic planning,
Indeed.
scenery building, and today we finally get to get it all underway, and we're so excited. So as you can see before us, we have this stunning board to play the first scenario over. The first scenario is Farmer Maggot's crop, and it represents our intrepid heroes sneaking through Farmer Maggot's land to try and steal some cabbages as some provisions on the way.
Indeed.
So a lot of what you see before you is the scenery we've been building over the last few weeks, and it's really cool to get it on the table. So we have to give a very special shout out to Andrew Pennington's orchard, which he sent down specifically for this. So that's really super cool. It was great to get that on the table.
Yeah.
Over here we have my brand new fields, which are made out of those fake grass samples.
Yeah.
We also have the brand new hedges that I've done here.
Lovely.
My field.
Yeah.
That's been a little made full of the cabbages, ready for a good bit of scrumping.
Indeed.
And then finally my perfectly reasonably sized kennel over here.
It's a 3-dog kennel.
Well, exactly. It's a 3-dog kennel, and Maggot loves his dogs.
Exactly.
Of course, what's really important in this is, given that our quest takes place 30 years earlier, these are not Grip, Fang and Wolf.
No.
Because Grip, Fang and Wolf would not be alive, essentially. So we don't know their names because Farmer Maggot hasn't told us their names yet, but hopefully all will be revealed. Yeah. We've got loads of Andrew Pennington's trees at the back that we've had in the past, and perhaps most impressively, dominating the battlefield, what have we got?
It's my hobbit hole.
Indeed.
Yes, I'm very proud of it.
Thing of beauty. This is Tom's hobbit hole for Farmer Maggot. First piece of scenery you ever made?
First ever piece of scenery I've ever made.
Very cool.
I'm pleased how it turned out in the end.
So yeah, this feels to us like a really fantastic scenario to get cracking with, because it contains everything that we've put a lot of effort into for the last few weeks. We even have the little stash markers should the hobbits be lucky enough to get away with them. So yeah, without further ado, I think we'll go in and have a look at the scenario. Yeah,
let's do it.
So, Farmer Maggot's crop is the first scenario. We'll start with the layout.
Yep.
The board represents the area of Maggot's farm immediately surrounding his house. Farmer Maggot's house should be placed 6 inches from the centre of the northern board edge, with his hound's kennel within 6 inches of the house. Yes. So we basically measured out that the kennel to the window is 6 inches.
Exactly.
A fenced field 4 inches long and 6 inches wide should be in the middle of the board, with a couple of exits to the field around the edges. So that's the field I've put up here.
Absolutely.
And then a stash marker should be placed 12 inches from the centre of the southern board edge. The rest of the board should be dotted with a few hedges, trees and bushes, and maybe an orchard.
Yes.
So yeah, here's our stash marker. It's the 40mm cav one, covered in cabbages. And that's about it. So Tom, do you want to do starting positions?
So starting positions are unnamed dogs are deployed touching the kennel. The characters for Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin are then deployed within 3 inches of the stash marker. Farmer Maggot will be available later.
So I think we'll start with, we'll put the dogs in their kennel, just to make use of it.
So that's
cheeky little doggies.
Woof woof.
Lovely stuff. And Farmer Maggot, he's having a look outside on his porch at the moment, but he'll be inside his house for the beginning. In terms of objectives, the hobbits are out for quick and tasty plunder and are hoping to get it from Maggot's crop. Farmer Maggot, however, does not take kindly to those that steal from him and will do what he can to fend off any would-be thieves. The evil side, which is Bilbo, Balin and Gaffer, wins if they can gather 5 plunder tokens, which are these cheeky little chaps, to the stash marker. The good side wins if all the hobbits flee before this can happen.
Indeed. So there's some special rules for the scenario. The first one is definitely not life or death. Hobbits are not naturally violent, and scrumping some crops is not worth losing life or limb over. Likewise, while Maggot will guard his crop, he will never administer more than a well-deserved walloping to any hobbit. In this scenario, the hobbits are wounded in a special way. Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin, or the characters representing, have 3 wounds each, but no might, will or fate. If one of the hobbits suffers 3 wounds, the amount of dog bites and bruises they have gathered is enough to make them flee. Remove them from the board. Character for Frodo may not use the ring in this scenario.
That's it. Yeah. So obviously Bilbo doesn't quite think we're in enough peril to use. It's a ring-worthy scenario.
Exactly.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
We have made one notice that When you look at it, you'll find out that the dogs cause terror, which is why I think the hobbits can't use will.
Yes.
But because we've got Balin in the campaign who has a special rule based around will, we've decided that Balin will be able to use his will points for this scenario for his Longbeard rule.
Yeah.
So the second rule is Farmer Maggot. Should Maggot hear Farmer Maggot. Should Maggot hear his dogs barking, he will quickly go outside to see what the commotion is all about. If any dog suffers a wound, then Farmer Maggot has been alerted. At the end of each good move phase after this condition has been met, and after all other good models have moved, roll a d6, and on a 3+, Farmer Maggot is placed touching his house. Farmer Maggot may not charge on the turn he arrives, but may otherwise act normally.
Yes.
So again, we've decided we'll put him here by the window, because then he'll be 6 inches from the kennel, which is
2 turns away.
Which is what the what seems to be implied by the rules.
Cool. The next one is the farmer and his hounds. Whilst they may be stealing from him, the hobbits do hold a high degree of respect and fear for Farmer Maggot and his dogs, and they will not seek to harm them. No hobbit may make strikes against Farmer Maggot or target him with stones. The hobbits may also not make special strikes. Should a dog suffer a wound, it will not be slain. Instead, it will be removed from the board and placed touching the kennel.
Cool.
And a dog sent to the kennel in this way may do nothing else unless Farmer Maggot touches the kennel, at which point the dog can act as normal. Additionally, Farmer Maggot and his dogs have the terror special rule for this scenario.
That's very cool.
That is very cool indeed.
So we'll need to be taking courage tests to charge any of them.
Yeah.
And so that means you've got limitless dogs.
Yes.
You've got unlimited dogs to attack my
12
poultry
dogs.
hobbits. But yeah, that's going to be interesting, particularly the way that the hobbits get the hobbits, 2 hobbits and a dwarf get wounded. Because they're kind of mighty heroes with 3 wounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Against unlimited dogs, I don't know.
Yeah.
And the final special rule is loot and plunder. The hobbits are hoping to find carrots, cabbages, mushrooms, and all manner of other good food in Maggot's field. If, during the end phase of any turn, any of the hobbits are within Maggot's field and did not fight or shoot that turn, they immediately gain a plunder token. This is a light object. If a hobbit carrying a plunder token is charged or charges, it will immediately drop the token within 1 inch of itself. Hobbits may only carry 1 plunder token at a time and may only voluntarily drop them when in base contact with a stash marker.
Yeah.
So my guys have got to get into the field, touch it in the end phase, pick up one of these, and then bring it back to the stash.
Yeah.
It's cool. It feels like an old kind of playground game.
Definitely,
or something.
Yeah. Oh, so you read that one, yeah? So
just participants.
Yeah, just participants. So obviously, for the first and only scenario, I am the good player, which is Farmer Maggot and his dogs, and the evil side is Gaffer Gamgee, Balin, and Bilbo. Whilst obviously they're not evil, the fact they're stealing crops from Farmer Maggot means that they will play the role of the evil force in this scenario.
It's worth noting, obviously, we've adapted this, as we will every scenario, to our campaign. So we, at this stage in our campaign, we only have 3 members. We have Bilbo, Balin, and Gaffer. Now, in this scenario, normally you have 4 hobbits, Frodo, Sam, Meriadoc, and Pippin. So I'm 1 model down here, which we think might well be a bit of a disadvantage.
Yes.
But those are all the rules for the game. So I'm so excited about this one. If you watch the live stream sort of review me and Steve did of this, we asked each other what our favourite 3 narrative scenarios was. This was in my top 3, the ones I wanted to play.
Definitely.
Can't remember where I put it, but it was definitely top 3 because it's brand new.
Yes, exactly.
I've never played anything like it before, and I just think it's super, super cool. It's such a great use of the SBG rules.
Definitely.
What about yourself?
Yeah, same. I mentioned to you before we were discussing starting the campaign and talking about what scenarios we could leave out, and I was like, this could potentially be left out, but I was like, no, we have to play it.
I think it was your idea to put it in.
Yeah, it was my idea to put it in.
It's not in their standard Fantasy Fellowship campaign.
No, I couldn't wait to play it, and I thought it would be a good kickstart to the...
Tom was very much of it. We've got to do that one, obviously.
Definitely.
So that's cool. So as we've said again in our prologue video, we've already gone through the profiles for Balin, Bilbo and Gaffer, and we're only going to be going through new profiles that get introduced. So the only new character to talk about is Farmer Maggot.
Indeed.
So Tom, do you want to run through his profile?
Yeah, sure. So Farmer Maggot is actually a pretty good hero for the Shire. He's obviously movement 4, which is the standard hobbit movement. He's fight 3, which is nice because most hobbits are fight 2 or 1.
So he matches Bilbo and he's ahead of Gaffer.
Indeed. He's strength 3, which is pretty strong for a hobbit. Defense 3, which is standard. He's got 2 attacks, which I think is incredible. Mm-hmm. He has 2 wounds and he's courage 5, obviously, because they're courageous hobbits. Obviously, the special rules probably won't come into play, but he has resistance to magic, throw stones, which is a range of 8 and a strength of 1, as we know. And his war gear is a 2-handed scythe and grip, fang, and wolf, or dogs to be named.
Dog 1, 2, and 3.
Dog 1, 2, and 3. And the profile for the dogs is they have movement 8, which is nice, so we should be able to catch up to the assailants pretty quickly. They're fight 3 also, so which is handy in a fight, especially against the lower fight value of Gaffer Gamgee. And strength 3, defense 3, 1 attack, 1 wound, and courage 3. And they have claws and teeth.
So it's the same odds as against Maggot, isn't it?
Yes.
Balin's ahead of him, Bilbo's equal, and Gaffer's behind.
So Balin's one to watch out for.
That's cool. It'd be fun to see him in action, chasing off some cheeky hobbits.
Yes.
So I guess the last thing to do is say, what do you think? What are your predictions?
I think possibly because you're a model down, you might struggle a bit because you've got to get 2 and 4. But I know in my dice rolls, you should be able to fend off a few dogs and get the objectives back home. So I'm going to predict that you get maybe a narrow victory. I think you get a narrow victory. Yeah. Okay. I think you could do it. I think you could do it. But if I get lucky, I think the odds are against you. But we know what my dice roll is like. So
against anyone else, perhaps.
Yes. So I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be really tough. I think if I have 4 models, that's 1 on each dog and 1 to grab cabbages.
That's true.
So it's gonna be important that I'm wounding you to drive them off. And hopefully Farmer Maggot can be delayed a few turns.
Exactly.
So, in theory, if you keep rolling 1s and 2s, the dog's just sitting there for the whole game while I steal
just
some
staring
cabbages.
at you watching stealing cabbages.
I'm a model down, but in Balin I do have a model with a higher fight value than
yes.
That could help.
And a high courage value as well. So he shouldn't ever fail to...
they're all high courage, aren't they? Gaffer's 5 and the other 2 are 6.
Yeah.
So that should be useful for charging the dogs.
Definitely.
But I think it's going to be a cabbage too far for the hobbits. So I just think the loss of the model will be too big. But importantly, as the rules said, it's not a matter of life or death.
It's not.
So it's not going to have any wider implications on the campaign.
No.
And we'll just see if they can stock up on some provisions for their journey.
Exactly.
Cool. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
And with that, we will go straight in and we'll get started on the game. See you there.
Yeah.
So here we are, and we are ready to jump on into the first turn. So good luck, sir.
Thank you.
I get priority.
Yes.
You get priority.
Yes,
you are
technically
good.
the good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I've got my tape measure over here.
Perfect.
So
so the dogs
have
can come running out of their kennel.
So they can move 8 inches.
Yep. They're perfectly reasonably sized kennel.
Yes. Well, it's a 3-dog kennel.
Ruff, ruff. I'd like to hear some good dog noise from you, please.
Ruff. I think we could take a beeline through the orchard.
Lovely. Then over to my move.
Yes.
So I think Gaffer is going to be running up towards the field.
Yep.
And then Bilbo will be moving with him, and Balin will be in his massively superior movement of 5 inches to take the fight to the dogs.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool, so that is the end of the move phase.
It is indeed, yeah.
So that's how things look after movement. You can see that the hobbits have moved up near the field and the dogs are rushing to meet them. And with that, we'll be going on to turn 2's priority. Cool, so we are on to turn 2's priority.
Yes, indeed.
So the dogs on the gold dice.
Yep.
And it's good. And the hobbits only get 2. And I don't have any might in this scenario.
No.
So do your worst, doggies.
So let's get stuck in, shall we? We can reach Balin. Can any... Oh, and the middle one can reach... Bilbo?
Bilbo.
He's going to go straight for Bilbo.
After the other one charges Balin.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah,
because
control zones, yes.
Your dog noises could be louder.
Are we moving through the crop?
That's open ground, particularly for a dog.
Yeah. So he's going to move up to
he's a
there
blocker.
to block.
It's tough. Cool. So I think in my move phase, he's got a clever control zone use from Macklin as well. Go on, we'll have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll attack you. We'll have lots of one-on-ones. There we go. So there's how things look as we go into the fight phase. You can see that Gaffer Bilbo, and Balin are all fighting one-on-one with Farmer Maggot's dogs. Let's go into the fight phase now.
So yeah, I have priority, so I'm going to choose Balin's fight first.
Okay, Balin's fight, so on fight 4.
Yep. I get a 3.
Balin takes it.
Takes it, the dog backs away an inch.
Balin is only strength
3, but the dog is defense 3, so you're looking for 4.
So it's a 4 to wound.
No.
Nothing from
That's
Balin.
fine. So we'll just go along the line then against Bilbo.
This is tied fight value.
It is indeed.
Oh, the dog takes
the
it.
dog. Bilbo backs away.
Yeah, Bilbo backs away, and you have a strength.
of 3.
And Bilbo's defence in this is only 3. So
4's to wound.
no,
he's fine.
Good lad, Bilbo.
And then finally Gaffer.
Gaffer, where you have the fight value
I
advantage.
do indeed.
4.
That's strong.
Gaffer's defence is a mere 3.
Yep, so looking for 4s.
Oh,
he
he
gets a
doesn't
wound on
wound.
Gaffer.
So Gaffer backs away, and Gaffer goes down to 2 wounds.
Indeed.
So here's how things look after that fight phase. As you can see, the dogs have done an admirable job of protecting Farmer Maggot's field and driven the scrumpers off. Is it scrumpers?
Yeah.
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 That's
From,
right.
yeah.
Scrumping. Let's go scrumping. Can we fight back next turn? We shall see. Okay, so we'll now move into turn 3's priority roll.
Indeed.
See if I can win it back for once.
Get a 4.
Farmer Maggot gets a 4, and the hobbits get a 4. It
So
does. It
goes to the
swings to
hobbits,
me.
yes.
Right, I think this is the time for some bravery here. So, Balin, yeah, probably could. I think we could make this work. Yeah. So Balin,
Yeah.
my fighter of fighters,
Yeah.
is going to charge these 2 dogs.
Ooh.
Bilbo is then going to charge this dog,
Leaving Gaffer.
leaving Gaffer free to touch the field,
Yeah.
which is what he has to do.
Yes,
right?
yep.
Just touch it.
Yeah.
And does he automatically get a plunder token?
At the end phase, during the end phase.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
great. Cool, so that's the end of my move phase, and all the dogs are tagged.
Indeed.
So there we go. And here's how things look as we head into the fight phase, with Balin having charged 2 dogs, Bilbo having charged 1, to allow Gaffer Gamgee to hopefully pick up the first plunder token in the next turn. We shall see.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move into the fight phase.
Okay.
So let's start with Balin.
Yeah.
He is outnumbered. He does only have 1 attack, but he's got a fight value. Come on, lad. Dogs get a 5. Come on, Balin. Oh! Balin takes it. What
He's
a
only gone and
legend.
done it.
Outstanding work from Balin. So he drives the dogs back, and he will strike at the dog nearest to Gaffer Gamgee.
Makes sense. He's strength 3, defense 3.
So 4 to wound him. And he does wound him. So he sends him back to his filthy kennel.
Get him back in there.
Which means, I believe, that you will get to start rolling for for Farmer Maggot from next turn.
Exactly.
Cool. Great, good work, Balin. What a hero. And now we've got Bilbo against the second dog. Bilbo gets, the dog gets a 6. Bilbo can't keep up. He gets driven back.
So I need 4s to wound.
He
Gets a wound on Bilbo.
That is Bilbo down to 2 wounds. So here's how things look in the end phase of turn 3. Because as you can see, one of the dogs got driven off, and Gaffer Gamgee has got the first plunder token and is going to start crawling back with it to see if he can get it back to their stash. Okay, so we're on to turn 4's priority.
Yeah.
So Evil gets 5. Yes.
Oh, goes to good.
Stays with
to
me.
Evil, sorry.
Right. Oh, your dog scores terror, don't you?
Yes, they do.
I've realised I've totally forgotten about that. So why do we, let's go for it. Balin last turn would have passed, and Bilbo Baggins thankfully would have passed.
Yes,
He's courage 6. There we go.
There we
Rolled
go.
it,
Yeah,
but,
resolved. Yeah.
Let's remember that.
Yeah.
So Gaffer's the obvious one.
Yes.
So Gaffer's going to run. It's 4 inches. Right there. Now, do I try and get another token? How do I drop tokens? Do you have to defeat me in a fight?
Yes.
But the token stays where it is, right? It's just a light object.
Yes, it does stay where it is.
Alright, I think I'm going to give you something to think about.
Okay.
Balin is going to charge the dog here.
Courage test.
Oh yeah, of course, very much. Again, courage 6 for Balin. Such a brave dwarf. Good lad.
Yes.
And Bilbo is going to move into contact with the field.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, so during the okay.
So you've got one dog to move.
Gaffer's already and Bilbo's taken a wound, so I think I'm gonna risk. Make sure we're in range. Yeah, well, we're in range. I'm going to take on Gaffer to try and drop that one because Bilbo's further away.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's my end of my move phase. So now, where you wounded a dog, I get to see if Farmer Maggot turns up.
Yep. On a
3 plus.
Yes. Precious. Yeah, you stay in your kennel. Stay in your perfectly reasonably sized kennel. Cool. So this is how things look as we enter the fight phase. You can see Gaffer Gamgee trying to fight off a dog for control of his plunder, Balin fighting off a dog, and Bilbo having a cheeky little scrump. So we'll get into the fight phase now, see how they all get on. Okay, so the priorities goes to evil, so I'm going to start with the less dramatic one, which is Balin fighting off one dog. Balin's got the fight value. Balin gets a 4. Oh no!
Doggy gets a 6.
Balin's driven back.
But
Balin's
it is defense 5, so I'm looking for 5 to wound.
Yeah.
And he does it.
Unbelievable.
Takes a wound off Balin.
Balin goes down to 2. So they're all 3 of my heroes are on 2 wounds at the moment. So come on, Gaffer. This is your time to shine. For the Shire. Oh, Gaffer Gamgee.
Oh, woof.
That is disgusted. And the dog takes it with a fight value. So I drop the plunder immediately. Put it back off there.
Yeah.
And you need...
So 4s. Oh, and he gets another wound.
They're the gold ones, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's down to 1 wound. Uh-oh. Things are looking grim for the scrumpers. Cool. So here's how things look at the end of the fight phase. Bilbo has managed, or in the end phase I should say, Bilbo has managed to get a plunder token, but sadly Gaffer has dropped his as he got driven off by the dog, as did Balin. Again, not a great turn. For me, at least.
No, good turn for me.
Cool, so here we go on turn 5 priority. And so good gets, oh come on,
broken dice.
Evil gets a 3, so it goes to good. And there's no point in using Balin's rule there, I think.
No?
To get us, who had it last?
I did, yeah, you had it last.
No, there's definitely no point then.
No.
Cool, so over to you.
Yep, so no tape measure required. I will stop Gaffer picking it up and try and make Bilbo.
Cool.
And yeah, at the end of my move phase, I will roll for Farmer Maggot.
Yep.
On a 3 plus, yes, no. He arrives.
So according to the scenario, he comes on, he's 6 inches away
from the kennel,
which we've measured to be under the
just
window.
Under the window, yep.
And he can move as normal, I think?
He can. I don't actually. He can't. Yeah, he can't charge on the turn he arrives, so he's going to move. He's 4 inches up.
Yeah.
There we are.
Cool. That's upsetting. So here's how things look at the end of the move phase. In my move phase, I moved Balin up to be to help Gaffer up and try and keep them on the table because Gaffer's only got 1 wound left, and also you can see the raised scythe of Farmer Maggot in the distance who has entered the fray. And with that, we'll go on to the fight phase. Your priority, as ever.
Yep. So
yeah, start with that.
We'll start with Bilbo.
Okay, Bilbo against
Yes,
one dog.
Bilbo.
Oh, 6s. Bilbo fucking drops his plunder token. Let's back him away into the field.
Yeah.
That's quite good fun.
So defense.
4 to wound.
Yeah, 4 to wound. Again.
It's another wound. Bilbo's down to 1. Uh-oh.
Dr.
Surely
OP,
now, though,
yes.
surely.
I think we're going to see some revenge now.
Yeah.
So I'll set the bar.
Oh my God.
God.
This is not the Macklin I ordered.
It's not the Macklin way.
Balin. Gaffer Gamgee for the Shire. Oh, come on.
I think unsurprisingly I'm going to go for
Gaffer.
I'm going to go for Gaffer.
So 4 to remove him from the game.
Oh.
Yes. They do back off. This scrumping's hard work.
It is.
Okay, so here's how things look after the fight phase. Bilbo has been driven back into the field, dropping his plunder token, and Balin and Gaffer Gamgee have both been driven off by the dogs. It's a sad day. It's a sad day for the Scrumpers.
Woof.
Woof indeed.
Yeah, so it's turn 6 priority.
Really
Let's
need
set
it.
the bar. Out of 5. These are good dice.
Yeah, 3. Do you know what? I think given that it's getting desperate, I'm going to use one of
But
Balin's
to
will points.
Take the priority from me.
Yes, I get to re-roll.
I'll get to reroll, okay.
So I need a 5 or 6. Oh, come on. Goes back to you.
Yes.
Oh dear.
So, I will, they're just going to touch the kennel with Farmer Maggot, which means...
Can that dog come out now?
It can, yes. It says after a good maggot is placed touching his house, Farmer Maggot may not charge a hit. What does it say? It says, basically once Farmer Maggot touches the kennel, the dog can act as normal.
Cool.
Yep. So let's move the roof so he can move 8 inches, get into the fray, knocking trees over. He's back there. And now I have to. I'm going to tag both of them.
No.
Stop you picking up Plunder and then tag Mr. Bilbo. There we are. That's my
Cool.
move. Yep.
I'm all
Yep.
tagged.
Automatically. Yep.
Great. So
Cool.
we'll be moving into the fight phase. And so we can see that Farmer Maggot has entered the fray and has sent his dog running off back towards the field to try and drive off those cheeky hobbits with their dwarf companion. So here's how things are looking as we enter the fight phase. You can see that one of the dogs has charged Balin and Gaffer Gamgee, and another dog has charged poor sweet Bilbo, whilst the final dog is coming running into the fray. It's looking very bad indeed. We'll get into the fight phase and see how we get on. Your priority, of course.
Yep. So we'll start with Bilbo again.
He's only got one. Bilbo's only got one wound. Oh God.
Off the tray.
No. Can the dog take Bilbo out of the game? No, absolutely not. No chance. No chance. So we have Balin and
2 on
Gaffer.
1.
Surely. Right, Balin. There we
are.
So Balin will try and drive him off.
Balin will need a 4. No.
Gaffer.
Gaffer will need a... Yes.
Oh, was
Oh,
he
how's he
strength 2? He's strength 2.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, Gaffer. And that's the end. And potentially my hopes and dreams. And these are the devastating scenes following another disastrous turn for the Scrumpers, as despite winning the fight, Balin and Gaffer could not drive off the dog, and Bilbo is backing away towards another dog. It's just a whole dog-based mess, quite frankly. We'll go into priority for
Turn
7. Okay, so the priority of turn 7.
Let's have a look.
3, surely.
Yes,
3.
goes
It
to
does
you.
go
I had
to
it
me.
last time.
I hope. A chance? Oh, God, I say that. There is no hope. There is only dog. Okay. What can we possibly do? Can you pick up a light? You can pick up a light object
so,
at any
yeah.
and then charge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose we'll go for that. It's as good as anything, isn't it? Or do we just leave it all to Balin? Just Balin to take on everyone.
Yeah.
Balin for the win. Right, Gaffer's gonna pick up that plunder token.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, he was back there, wasn't
Yeah,
he? He's gonna
so-
move as far as he can
Yeah.
and charge that dog
Okay.
with the token.
With the token,
We
yeah.
think we can do that. We
Yeah.
certainly can for this narrative scenario.
We certainly can.
Bilbo doesn't want to go rushing out there. So Bilbo is going to rush 2 inches to here and then 2 inches to there.
Okay.
Pick up that.
And charge the dog as well.
No, he won't. He'll charge him there. And Balin will pick up that
Yeah.
and charge him there.
Cool.
That's on Balin. Plunder.
Plunder cats. So my move.
No, you know what? I'm gonna let Balin do his good thing. Bilbo's not charging.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. Dog to the face.
Yeah. So he's gonna woof 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 through the field.
Lovely.
Charge Mr. Bilbo. Yeah. There he is. So that's his move.
Cool. And Farmer Maggot staying with
he's staying with the kennel too.
Kennel, presumably.
Yeah.
Cool. And here's how things look as we go into the fight phase. You can see that all three of the scrumpers are desperately fighting one-on-one, and two of them are only on one wound. Can I get one plunder token back to the stash? We shall see. Cool.
Yep. So you have priority.
Yep. So on to the fight phase. So we'll start with where I've got the best chance, which is Balin fighting one dog. Yes.
Oh,
Balin
takes on fight value.
Come on, we need to drive him off.
Yes.
And he does.
Gets
Back
in.
to the kennel with you, dog. Right, so here we go. This is where it gets tense. Bilbo with the same fight value against a single dog. Oh, Bill. Bilbo backs away.
Oh,
Yes!
nice.
The Macklin's dreadful Ruby roll continues.
This is more Macklin.
And finally, Gaffer.
Yeah.
He's the underdog here. Dog gets a 4. Come on, Gaffer, you can do it. Ah, come on. Drops his token.
So let's have a look. So 4+. Oh no, I can't.
Still in it, precious. Cool. And that is the end of the fight phase. So here's how things are looking at the end of the fight phase. Despite the dogs winning 2 fights, they weren't able to drive off any of the scrumpers. So hopefully I've still got a chance to get at least one plunder token back to the stash, but we shall see.
Yeah, so turn 8 priority.
Yep.
Let's have a look. Yeah, 3.
Three.
3 seems to be my highest dice.
5. Good work.
Indeed.
So, there's some chances here. Must be careful, precious. Yeah, I think so. So Gaffer's going to move. I mean, he's got plenty here to get back. So he's going to touch it and then move back.
Yeah.
What does he have to do with that to deposit?
That's it. Just get it back to the stash zone, and
and it stays there.
It stays there. Yeah.
Great. Then Balin's going to pick this one up, and on his way, he's going to charge into this dog. It causes terror.
Oh yes.
So courage test for Balin.
Loves it. It's courage 6.
Courage
Yeah.
6. Never in doubt. He squeaked. You're going to charge him there with his plunder token. And then Bilbo's going to run back here as well. Or is he? Oh, he's safe. No, he won't pick one up because he'll be under attack.
Yep.
You can only pick them up if you haven't done a fight.
If you haven't done a fight, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So my move. So, unsurprisingly, I'm gonna tag Bilbo, and then Farmer Maggot barking orders.
Hey.
Get out there. And then Farmer Maggot's going to stay on the kennel.
Get away from my fields.
Get off my land.
Cool. And that is the end of the move phase. So here's how things look as we move into the fight phase with Balin and Bilbo both fighting one-on-one, but we have managed to get a plunder token back to the stash.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can fight off the dogs for one more turn. Cool.
Yep, so you have priority. Where would you like to start?
So let's start with Balin, because I've got the best chance there. Sorry, come on, Bals. Oh, Balin. Balin loses and drops his token.
I do need a 5 though.
You do.
No.
Balin loves it. Loves life.
Just Bilbo left.
So Bilbo with only 1 wound. Oh, surely Bilbo. Bilbo takes it. Can we drive another dog off? That'd be something.
That would be nice.
Ah, no, not this time. That's it, isn't it?
Yep.
So as we gaze over Farmer Maggot's crops and his hedges, we can see how things lay at the end of the fight phase. Bilbo was able to defeat a dog, but he tragically wasn't able to drive him off. be kept in the game. So maybe we can get another stash token, plunder token back. We shall see.
So turn 9 priority. Let's see what I get. Higher than a 3. Thank you. Goes to evil. Will Balin re-roll that?
What did you get?
I got a 4.
And I had it last turn.
Yes.
I need a 5 or a 6. No, Balin will not re-roll that this
Okay.
time. Over to you, sir. Deforestation going on.
Yeah.
It's dreadful business.
Okie dokie. So my move. Let's just get him up there. There. And charge him there.
Cool.
Yep.
So the question is, does Gaffer help Bilbo or go for the stash? I think I trust Bilbo.
Yeah.
I've got to go with the objectives, I think. So Gaffer can move.
2
Just-
for the stash.
Yeah, it's 2. Happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with 2, yeah.
Which is so it's 2 inches there.
Yeah.
And then he can get back.
Yeah, I'm
Lovely.
happy with that.
So he gets back with that one. Yoink. Good scrumping, Gaffer.
Good scruffing.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, that's Farmer Maggot's going to stay where he is. Just
cool.
Yep.
2 tokens back. Slowly, steely cabbage. So here's how things look at the end of the move phase. Bilbo and Balin were attacked by dogs, but Gaffer was able to steal another cabbage and get it safely back to the stash. Can we build on this, or will Bilbo be finally taken out? We'll see in the fight phase.
So
Right.
yes, I have priority. So we'll start with Balin's fight.
Yep.
So I get.
Come on, Balin takes it.
Yeah.
4 plus to drive him off. Yes, back to the
That's
kennel with you. Yes, precious. That's huge. We just need Bilbo to hang in there now.
So
Come on,
on to
Bilbo. Come on, Bilbo. You can do it, lad. Come on, Bilbo. Not again. That's the same roll as last turn, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Once again, Macklin has a 4 plus to take him out.
I can't do it.
Oh, but to have driven 2 dogs off in one turn,
would have been
that
nice.
would be something. Cool, so that's the end of the fight phase.
Yep.
So here's how things look at the end of the fight phase. And I think for the first time in the game, things are actually looking good for the forces of evil, for a
Yes.
turn at least.
Yes.
In the sense that they've got those 2 tokens back, and now all 3 of them are free to attack the 2 dogs.
Yeah.
But we'll see if they can capitalise on that in the next turn. Okay,
Yeah.
so here we go with priority for turn 10.
So see what I can get.
Dogs get a 4. I get 5. Yes, yes. This is awesome. Right, so this is annoying because they've got the best chance against the dogs, but Bilbo's closest. Oh, I think he's not close enough though. So I think what we do, we have to have an anti-dog turn. I think what we got to do. Gaffer's within 4 of that one.
Yep.
So Balin is going to move up and charge this. Oh, courage test.
Oh, yep.
So courage test for Balin to charge. Loves it.
Loves it.
And he goes as far as he can to there.
Yep.
Then courage test for Bilbo to charge this one.
Yep.
He's courage 6. Also
Yeah,
loves
he
it.
loves it.
And he's
Fine.
going to charge as close as he can there. So he's in range next turn. And then a courage test for dear old Gaffer. Courage 5.
Yes.
Yet to fail one. I'm going to take on that one. There we go. Over to you for your move phase.
Yep. So, unsurprisingly, I think I'm going to be head to block off try and cut through the patch.
Scrumping patch.
Scrumping patch. Right, yeah, and Farmer Maggot's going to stay there so the dogs can be set forth.
And here's how things stand at the end of the movement phase in turn 10. And for the first time, I've been able to take the fight to the dogs a bit. and hopefully put some pressure on them. But we'll see if I'm able to drive both of them off, which would be really, really super. So we'll move into the fight phase now. My priority, right?
Yep. Okay,
so we'll start with the less tense one, I suppose, which is Balin against one dog. Balin, big 2. Oh, gonna back away towards the field like you read about. It's a 5 to win game.
No,
Just Balin.
it's fine.
And the potentially far more important one, Gaffer and Bilbo.
So
big dog to 1. So I just need
anything
2
but snake eyes.
There we go. Loves it. And can I drive him off? They are both strength 2. The defense 3.
Defense 3. So
5.
5.
Yes. No. Nope. That's a shame. So I'd hope to drive both off, and instead I drove none off. So that's a bit of a disaster. Cool. So that is the end of the fight phase.
Yep.
And the end of the turn. So here's how things stand at the end of the turn. Sadly, I wasn't able to capitalise on my chance last turn, and it's now 3 on 3, which is very much in favour of the dogs and not the scrumpers. So we'll see.
Yep, so we're off for priority for the next turn. I get 5. Oh, hey.
I get 6.
Ooh.
I did use one of your dice, though. I can only apologise. Is there anything I can do? Potentially. So Balin and Bilbo can both reach the field. There's no way I'll be able to
not be in a fight.
No. So that means definitely don't want 2 dogs. Oh, if Bilbo's there, he can't get round to him, yeah?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely.
So that means Balin goes and does the scrumbing. Bilbo will take him safe from the other charge.
I can't charge.
And Gaffer will take that one.
Do some courage tests?
Oh, yeah, I'll stop cheating.
Yeah.
So Bilbo's courage test.
Fine.
That's it. And Gaffer's courage test. Loves it. Not failed one yet.
No. Or high courage.
Yeah, good little hobbits and dwarfs.
So, you forced my hand, really. There's only one route, and that's to charge Balin, because I can't charge Bilbo.
Mm-hmm.
No, can't reach around, so yes. I'm going to go through the field.
Lovely.
Back into Balin.
Cool. So as we take a nice wide look over the whole of Farmer Maggot's fields, we can see how things look as we move into the fight phase with 3 one-on-one fights again. Hopefully I can drive some dogs off and maybe get some more cabbages. We'll see in the fight phase. Right.
Yep.
My priority.
It is indeed.
So let's start with Balin against a single dog. Dog is 4. Balin.
So I need a 5.
Oh, he does hit Balin.
Gets
Goes
down
down
to one
to
wound.
1 wound. They're all on 1 wound.
Who next?
Let's do Gaffer next.
Okay, a 5.
It's got to be a 6. It's got
yeah.
to be a 6.
Oh, no.
Can the dog take the first hobbit out of the game? He can't.
Come on.
Again, they're hanging on. And finally, dear sweet Bilbo.
You need a 6 to draw.
No. Can he take Bilbo Baggins, the ring bearer, out of the game? It's a 4 to take him out. And
yes,
he
he gets
can.
him.
It's a disaster. Bilbo has run screaming away from Farmer Maggot's field.
All bitten and bruised.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I mean, things just got significantly harder. Cool. So here's how things look at the end of what will go down in history as a disastrous fight phase. There are now 3 dogs against only 2 of my heroes, and I fear for their chances now. So we'll see if they can pull off an unlikely upset in the next turn. So priority for the next turn. I get a 2.
Oh, I knew I'd get 1.
I mean, I've got very little options there, to be honest. All right, let's go for it. Gaffer will try and charge the one in front of him.
Yep.
Courage has failed him. Courage has absolutely failed him. And Balin might as well charge the 2 in a glorious heroic charge. There you go.
There
we go.
So, in the spirit of trying to wrap things up, I'm actually going to charge and trap Balin.
Into Balin.
So, woof woof. So yeah, and once again, Farmer Maggot is just going to watch his dogs do his bidding.
So here's how things look as we enter the fight phase with Farmer Maggot cheering on his dogs, while Gaffer Gamgee can only shake his fist at the injustice of it all, and Balin tries to fight off 3 rabid dogs. We'll see how they get on. So, Balin does have the fight value advantage.
Indeed. See what the dogs can get. We do get a 6.
Pretty good, Balin.
Oh!
I can't believe it. There's a tiny part of us that might think this should end. Balin fights him off. He'll strike the one behind him. No, he doesn't do anything. Oh. And here's how things look at the end of the fight phase, where Balin did manage to somehow fight off the 3 rabid dogs. Can he do it again? We'll find out in the next turn. Okay, so here we go for the next turn's priority. For 4?
4, so it goes to me,
you.
yes.
Would you like to use my last will point? And it still goes to you.
So, I'm going to make Gaffer take a courage test if he wants to help Balin out. And dogs back in on bone, that's my move. Will Gaffer like to try and help?
Yeah, Gaffer will take a courage test to charge in. Yeah, he's re-found his courage. Oh, he found something in the farmer's field. My courage. My cabbage.
My cabbage.
You'll need it. Right. And so with that, we'll go on to the fight phase. And so here's how things look at the start of the fight phase. We have Balin fighting off 2, he is trapped, and we have Gaffer fighting off 1. It's your priority, so I presume we're doing Balin first.
We are indeed, yeah.
Big 6 from Balin. Oh no, it's his time. It's his time. So with that,
so
the dogs are going to get 4 strikes to
needing
to take
a single 5.
And
overkill.
Balin goes down. He doesn't go down,
no,
he gets driven off.
Gets driven off, he runs away.
Yeah. It just leaves the hero Gaffer, the weakest of my heroes, fighting.
I get a 2.
Gaffer takes it.
Come on.
For the Shire.
5, no.
Nothing. Drives a dog off. And that's how things look at the end of the fight phase, with poor old Gaffer struggling on against 3 dogs. Okay, so here we go into what we fear will be the final turn.
Yes.
Who gets priority?
Probably me.
Yep, it is indeed you. Dear sweet Gaffer.
So I think, yes. Farmer Maggot's going to move up now.
Farmer Maggot no longer fears of his dogs being returned to the kennel.
So he's going to get up there and give Gaffer a good talking to eventually. And then dogs will charge in. Trapping poor Gaffer.
Dear sweet Gaffer. Here we go then.
Yeah.
For the Shire. It's a one. He's lost. It's over.
So six dice needing a single 4.
Disaster.
So I think this could be it.
I think it might be.
Yeah. Poor old Gaffer.
To quote the Goblin King, that'll do it. And with that, Gaffer also runs screaming away to join Balin and Bilbo, driven off from Farmer Maggot's fields. Well played, sir.
You too.
And we'll see you in the post-battle Bat-Rat Breakdown. Right. So there we have it. The hobbits and their dwarf have been driven off by the concerted efforts of Maggot and his hounds.
Well, yeah.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
How'd you feel it went?
Yeah, I mean, it could have. I was rolling really well at the start, and then all of a sudden, I was in the driving seat but couldn't wound to save my life. So it's probably got prolonged a little bit longer than the scenario dictates. But I think, considering you did well to get 2 stash markers back, I think
yeah, maybe
you did well to get 2. I didn't go. I thought you had a bit more of a chance because I put a bit too much faith in Balin.
It's been one attack. It's been
one attack. I know. But yeah, overall it was incredible. I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you at the start it felt like you had really good luck.
Yeah.
I seem to remember, and I was like, "Oh, this is a nightmare." But then you couldn't wound. To be fair to you,
exactly.
I reckon things evened out on that. If not tipped in my favour, certainly. But yeah, as I feared at the start, I think there just wasn't the bodies.
No.
There was a couple of times where I had a real chance. I feel like there was a point where I had the 2 stash markers back, and I had 3 of my guys against 2 of your dogs.
Yeah.
And so there was a chance to properly clear them out, and I just couldn't take it. But yeah, so alas, was not to be. In the normal scenario, we were having a chat about this before we filmed this clip. We think that the hobbits have got a good chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you've got the 4th hobbit to, like you said, you can tag the 3 dogs, potentially only 2, depending on how the turns have gone. Yeah. And then you've got 1 to 2 hobbits to grab the stash markers.
More dice in the fight as well.
More dice in the fight, exactly.
Yeah. I got lucky with Maggot not turning.
Yeah, I think hindsight, maybe he would have probably sped up. When I realised the dogs were relatively safe, he would have sped up proceedings. But the problem is then, if I get caught in no man's land, then the dogs are stuck. Yeah. I've got to go backtrack or put Farmer Maggot into the fray.
Yeah, I definitely think he needs to be next to the kennel.
Yeah,
that's the right
point.
Play
because obviously the 8-inch movement, they're 2 turns away from getting to you. So I think sticking him in the kennel was a good ploy, definitely.
Yeah, it was great though. It was really brilliant scenario. I really enjoyed it, and it's cool to see that. And I think even with the normal hobbits, it does feel very evocative of that tiny little moment in the film. It's cool and nice to start with something a bit light-hearted potentially. We have decided, as it says in the start, it's not a matter of life and death. They obviously haven't used up any resources. No. Balin used up some will points, which is the one exception of that, but we've said that this is still essentially Farmer Maggot's farm is then a rest stop in terms of the campaign. They go in, don't they? And they make friends with him, certainly in the book. Yeah. So there isn't going to be any brave companion or fall of a took stuff. Anecdotally, did I have anyone who particularly performed admirably or foolishly?
I think they all performed equally. Yeah. I think you had a couple of kills or a wound. Slapping the dogs down and sending them back to the kennels. Yeah,
across the course of the game, there wasn't any of them who stood out as particularly good or particularly bad to me.
No.
But well done all. Well
yes,
done team.
Indeed.
So yeah, that's that, and it was a good start.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll be moving on to our next scenario now, but of course, maybe by the time there's the next scenario, they'll be joined by a 4th member.
Who could it be?
And who indeed? Maybe a 5th, 6th and 7th member as well.
Possibly.
So we will see you in the next video. We hope you enjoyed the launch of our Fantasy Fellowship campaign. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and there are links to our Patreon account down below should you wish to support us in any way, shape or form. Until next time, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Battle Streams in Middle-earth.
Good job, lads. Right, let's see who we've got here then. And, well, if it isn't Master Hamfast. Mr. Hamfast Gamgee, I should say. And Mr. Bilbo Baggins. Well, if that isn't queer enough. And you are?
Balin, son of Findon, at your service.
A dwarf? In the Shire? Well, if that isn't queerer than ever. It's lucky for you that I know you. There are some funny things going on today. Of course, we do get queer folk wandering in these parts at times, but this fellow was the most outlandish I've ever set eyes on.
What fellow do you mean?
Then you haven't seen him? He was a funny customer and asking funny questions. He came riding in on a big black horse right up to my door. All black he was himself, too, and cloaked and hooded up, as if he didn't want to be known. I didn't like the look of him. The black fellow sat quite still. Have you seen Baggins? He asked in a queer voice and bent down towards me. I could not see any face, for his hood fell down so low, and I felt a sort of shiver down my back. Be off, I said. There are no Bagginses here. You're in the wrong part of the Shire. You had better go back west to Hobbiton. I called the dogs, but he swung off and rode through the gate and up the lane towards the causeway like a bolt of thunder. What do you think of that, Mr. Baggins?
I don't know what to think, but we have to try and get to Bree, so I'm afraid we must be going.
Well, I see you have an idea of your own. It's as plain as my nose that no accident brought you and the rider here on the same afternoon, and maybe my news was no great news to you. I'm not asking you to tell me anything you have in mind to keep to yourself, but I see you're in some kind of trouble. Perhaps you're thinking it won't be too easy to get to Bree without being caught.
I am, but it's no use. We have to leave the Shire. We must get to Bree.
But now I have a notion. The way to Bree is treacherous, particularly with fellows like that Black Raider about. The best chance will be to head for Bruckleberry Ferry. That will save you a good step, and it might also save you trouble of another sort. What's more, I'll come with you to the ferry, if you'll have me. I didn't like the look of that Black Rider, not at all, and me and my dogs might well be of help to you on the road.
The dogs?
Oh, don't worry, Master Gamgee, they won't harm you. Not unless I tell them to.
Then it's settled. Let us put old scores behind us and set off.
Good. Here, Penny, Mac, Sam, Heel.